There are games that go beyond the simple act of playing. They are capable of moving us, telling deep stories, and connecting us to worlds that feel alive. These games stand out not only for their impeccable technique, but for the care in every detail, creating something that stays in our memory long after the game ends. Today's video is about this 21 games that go beyond entertainment and become memorable experiences. Each of these games has something special, whether it's a captivating narrative, innovative gameplay, or a universe so well-built that it seems to fully envelop us. Get ready to reminisce, or perhaps discover these games that stand out for their ability to touch players and leave a unique mark. I'm Jax, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring daily content so you won't miss a single detail of the gaming world. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be thrilled. From one gamer to another. Kicking off the list, we have Batman Arkham Knight, a game that redefines the concept of immersion in superhero games. From the first moments, the dark and detailed atmosphere of Gotham completely pulls you in as you don the mantle of the Dark Knight. The fluidity of the combat is impressive, with quick strikes, precise counters, and moves that feel choreographed for a film. It's impossible not to feel the weight of choices, the suspense of dialogues, and the grandeur of facing enemies that seem to come straight from the best comic book stories. Beyond its engaging narrative, the game surprises with the introduction of the Batmobile, adding incredible layers to the gameplay. Whether in thrilling chases or solving environmental puzzles, it transforms how you explore the city. Gotham has never felt more alive. Every street, every alley, is overflowing with details that make you believe the city really exists. The combination of dynamic gameplay and breathtaking visuals is undoubtedly one of the highlights of this work. What's most fascinating is how the game balances frenetic action with more intimate and psychological moments. There's something special about how it connects us to the mind of the protagonist, exploring themes of fear, guilt, and sacrifice. It's the kind of experience that stays with you, not just for the challenge, but for the emotional depth it delivers. A true milestone in games that celebrates the best of the Dark Knight universe. Next, we have Spiritfarer, a game that delicately embraces deep themes like loss and farewell, yet never loses its warmth. The hand-drawn art creates enchanting settings with vibrant colors and smooth animations that seem like something out of a dream. It's one of those games that catches you off guard, as, despite lacking frantic action, it captivates with its genuine connection to the characters and the world around you. Every interaction, every dialogue is filled with meaning, as if everything was carefully designed to touch your heart. The gameplay is a harmonious mix of management and exploration, where you command a boat that serves as a home for souls seeking rest. Between simple tasks like cooking or tending to crops and moments where you need to navigate mysterious seas, the game offers a relaxing balance. What's most intriguing is how everyday activities become therapeutic, almost like a pause from the hustle of real life. It's as if every detail, no matter how small, has something to say. More than just a game, this journey is an invitation to reflect on human connections and the impact we leave in the world. All of this is set to a delicate soundtrack that seems to whisper directly to the soul. It's not just a pastime, but a work that can transform how you view the world, leaving a mark that endures even after you turn off the console. In third place, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, a true ode to the Wild West that makes you feel part of an era full of challenges and changes. The first thing that strikes you is the realism, both in the breathtaking landscapes and the small daily gestures. Imagine riding through golden plains at sunset or facing storms in icy mountains, feeling the impact of every detail in the environment. It's as if the game transports you directly into the final days of the cowboy era. What truly stands out is the richness of the world created. It's not just a beautiful setting, but a living place. Each little town has its own personality, with residents who follow routines and react credibly to situations. You can fish in crystal-clear rivers, play card games in saloons, or even stop to listen to random conversations that reveal fascinating stories. Everything seems meticulously planned to bring this universe to life. More than just a linear narrative, it's the world itself that tells stories. From the battle marks in an abandoned cabin to the trails left in the snow by a group of horses, every detail contributes to creating a deeply immersive experience. It's the kind of game that invites you to explore slowly, paying attention to the small things that make the setting feel more real than ever. Next up, we have Outer Wilds, a masterpiece that turns curiosity into its driving force. In this game, the universe becomes your playground, with unique planets to explore and mysteries that challenge your mind with each discovery. Everything happens in a 22-minute cycle, during which the galaxy's sun goes supernova, resetting its journey. This brilliant mechanic makes every exploration even more impactful, as each second is valuable in uncovering the secrets hidden in the most improbable corners. What really stands out is how the game challenges you to think outside the box. There's no guide pointing the way, only subtle clues scattered throughout the environments. Each planet is a microcosm full of stories, from the ruins of a lost civilization to impressive astronomical phenomena. You can explore a planet being consumed by a black hole or investigate wreckage in orbit, always feeling like you're uncovering something grand and unique. More than mechanics or graphics, the highlight lies in the pure sense of discovery. The minimalist and melancholic soundtrack fits perfectly with the atmosphere of solitude and wonder. Every new piece of the puzzle connects you more deeply to this cosmic narrative that is both personal and universal. It's a game that transcends the concept of mere gaming, inviting you to reflect on the unknown while exploring every corner of the galaxy. Next, we have Marvel's Spider-Man, a game that captures like no other the sensation of being Spider-Man in a vibrant, lively New York City. The first thing that catches your attention is the fluidity of the movements. Each jump, spin, and swing feels so natural that you barely notice the time passing as you soar across the skyscrapers. The urban environment impresses, with detailed streets, pedestrians interacting, and an atmosphere that pulses with the frenetic rhythm of the metropolis. The combat is also a spectacle on its own, blending agility with strategy. Using abilities at the right moment, like disarming enemies or trapping whole groups with webs, creates moments that feel like action choreography. The diversity of missions keeps the game exciting, from battling gangs in the streets to pure adrenaline-filled moments fighting iconic villains. The city isn't just a backdrop. It's a battlefield where everything happens in sync with the gameplay. Another standout feature is how the game balances action with narrative. Between battles, there are moments of deep connection with the story, revealing the human and vulnerable side behind the suit. The dilemmas presented are emotional and serve as a reminder that being a hero isn't always simple. It's a cinematic experience that not only dazzles the eyes, but also delivers unforgettable moments in control. In sixth place, Uncharted 4 raised the bar for adventure games. The visual impact is immediate. Every location visited, from ancient ruins to vibrant cities, feels carefully sculpted to capture your attention. The level of detail is so impressive that even the elements in the environment seem to tell stories, whether it's in a dense forest or on a cliffside by the ocean. The gameplay stands out for its fluidity and variety of interactions. Combining intense shootouts, risky climbs, and clever puzzles, each challenge is unique and engaging. The movement mechanics, like using the grappling hook to reach inaccessible areas, bring a fresh dynamic to every exploration. It feels like each segment of the journey tests not only your skills, but also your ability to see beyond the obvious. Another remarkable point is the narrative. The story weaves action and emotion, exploring the bonds between the characters in a deep and captivating way. There's something special in how the game balances moments of pure adrenaline with casual, reflective dialogues. The result is a rich and unforgettable journey, worthy of a spot among the best games of all time. In seventh place, Ori and the Blind Forest stands out as one of the most emotionally impactful and visually stunning experiences in gaming. Every scene feels like a moving painting, with vibrant colors and fluid animations bringing a magical and mysterious world to life. The atmosphere is complemented by a soundtrack that immediately connects you to the story, creating unforgettable moments with every step of the journey. The gameplay offers a brilliant combination of platforming and challenges that require precision and creativity. As abilities are unlocked, the environments open up in layers, encouraging exploration and revealing well-hidden secrets. The obstacles are not only mechanical, but also narrative, tying the player's actions to the unfolding of an emotional plot. What makes this game so special is how it balances challenge and reward. Every progression feels meaningful, as if every jump, every discovery, contributes to something greater. It's impossible not to get immersed in the story, which blends moments of tension and triumph in a narrative that unfolds gradually as the player delves deeper into this enchanting universe. In eighth place, we have Prey, a game that immerses players in a psychological thriller set in an oppressive space station filled with secrets. Every corner of the station exudes a sense of abandonment, while the detailed architecture blends futuristic technology with visual clues of an impending disaster. It's an environment that grabs your attention and sparks curiosity, challenging you to explore and uncover its mysteries. The gameplay stands out for the creativity it offers players. Available tools and abilities make each situation unique, allowing for everything from direct combat to improvisational solutions. Whether creating an impossible path using devices or turning objects into useful tools, the system rewards experimentation. This dynamism turns every challenge into something personal and unprecedented. The tension is constant. The player never knows when or where danger may appear, which makes each exploration more cautious. This unpredictability, combined with the growing mystery of the narrative, creates a sense of urgency and discomfort that grips you from start to finish. It's a work that stands out for its ability to both involve and challenge players in equal measure, offering an unforgettable experience in the genre. In the ninth position, we have What Remains of Edith Finch, a game that turns exploration into a way of uncovering powerful stories. Each room in the house where the story unfolds is like a time capsule, filled with details that reveal fragments of the lives of a family full of secrets. The environment is so rich that the settings seem to communicate with the player, offering subtle clues about the events. The narrative is told in creative and unexpected ways. Each segment uses specific mechanics to immerse the player in stories ranging from poetic to tragic, always with unique approaches. From a tale narrated through moving illustrations to moments that challenge logic, the game never follows a predictable pattern. This constant variation keeps curiosity alive, making each chapter memorable in its own way. The setting and sounds perfectly complement the tone of the story, creating an engaging and thought-provoking atmosphere. The contrasts between silence and delicate melodies give weight to the most significant moments, highlighting the emotions that naturally arise. It's a game that stands out for the creativity with which it builds its narrative, exploring deep themes in an innovative way. In the 10th position, we have Days Gone, a game that transports players to a post-apocalyptic world where survival is a daily battle. The vast and detailed landscapes mix dense forests, mountainous terrain, and abandoned villages, creating an atmosphere that balances beauty and hostility. The combat dynamics demand caution and planning. Facing large hordes requires creative strategies, while resource management becomes essential to keep advancing. The bike is more than just a vehicle. It's an indispensable ally, needing constant refueling and repair. The map is an invitation to explore, but vulnerability always accompanies the player, turning every route into an unpredictable challenge. The highlight is the narrative, which connects the player to a journey of overcoming and resilience. The conflicts presented reflect both the brutality of the new world and the bonds formed along the way. Each mission offers something meaningful, whether for the progression of the plot or the development of characters. An adventure filled with tension and significance, where each moment could be the last. In the 11th position, Ghost of Tsushima stands out for its masterful recreation of an era marked by honor and conflict. The island of Tsushima comes alive with stunning landscapes, from golden fields swaying in the wind to mountains covered with dense forests. The attention to detail transforms every corner of the map into a living painting, inviting players to explore trails, shrines, and fortresses that reveal the story of a Japan in transformation. The battles are a spectacle on their own, balancing precision and brutality. The combat system emphasizes technique, requiring quick reflexes and careful reading of enemy movements. The transition between direct confrontation and stealth allows the player to shape their fighting style, exploring both the code of honor and the need for adaptation. Each duel carries a unique intensity, amplified by sound and visual effects that highlight the impact of every strike. The narrative explores the internal struggle of a warrior torn between tradition and survival. The plot unfolds at a pace that engages both through its depth and unexpected events. A work that combines action and beauty in an unforgettable way. In the 12th position, we have the Bioshock saga, a milestone in the gaming world for its innovative approach to narrative and environment. Each game presents a fascinating and disturbing world, from the depths of Rapture, a sunken city that collapsed under the weight of its selfish ideals, to the skies of Columbia, a floating utopia marked by social divisions and fanaticism. These environments are more than just backdrops. They are reflections of human failings, telling powerful stories through their details. Combat combines intense action with creative strategies, allowing the player to explore different approaches to overcome challenges. The exploration structure encourages curiosity, revealing hidden narratives through recordings, documents, and visual interactions that enrich the understanding of each world. The franchise stands out for its ability to address complex themes like power, morality, and human choices. With plots full of twists and unforgettable characters, Bioshock goes beyond entertainment, provoking reflections on the limits of ambition and the impact of decisions. It's a series that has marked its place in gaming history, remaining relevant and admired even years after each game's release. In the 13th position, God of War 3 delivers the masterful conclusion to one of the best revenge tales ever seen in games. The story begins at the height of the revolt against the gods of Olympus, leading the protagonist to face enormous enemies and devastating betrayals. Every step of this bloody journey is filled with intensity. The combat is a spectacle of strength and brutality. The weapons, each more imposing than the last, offer devastating moves that become even grander when facing colossal creatures. Each confrontation, whether with ordinary soldiers or mythological figures, seems to propel the revenge that culminates in a grand and unforgettable finale. Olympus, with its stunning settings and rich symbolism, becomes the stage for one of the greatest stories of justice and revenge ever told. It's not just about epic battles, but about closing a war against fate in a way that only God of War could deliver, with emotion, intensity, and an unmatched sense of victory. In the 14th position, we have Final Fantasy XV, a game that combines a captivating storyline with a vast and lively world. The story follows an epic journey of friendship, loss, and responsibility, as four friends travel through lands filled with political conflicts and fantastic creatures. The balance between lighthearted moments and dramatic events adds depth to the plot, making each chapter a key piece of a larger narrative mosaic. The combat is dynamic and innovative for the franchise, allowing fluid movements and quick strategies. Exploring the map is an invitation to discovery, with environments ranging from lush forests to vibrant cities and vast deserts, each bringing secrets and challenges that enrich the journey. The bond between the characters is the heart of the game. The interactions throughout the journey, from casual conversations to moments of sacrifice, create a genuine connection that resonates through the story. This adventure isn't just about defeating enemies. It's about facing challenges together, overcoming adversity, and strengthening bonds that transcend the battlefield. A memorable game within one of the greatest gaming sagas. In the 15th position, we have Shadow of the Colossus, a game that redefines the idea of epic confrontations. The absence of common enemies and the vastness of a deserted land create a powerful contrast, placing the player in breathtaking and melancholic settings. Each battle is a duel against gigantic creatures, true monuments in motion, that requires strategy and precision to defeat. The climbing and combat mechanics turn each confrontation into a puzzle, where you must find weak points while balancing on unstable platforms and avoiding devastating attacks. The minimalist setting, with vast and desolate landscapes, reinforces the loneliness and gravity of the mission. There are no distractions or lengthy dialogues, just the central goal and the growing tension of each confrontation. This simplicity gives weight to the narrative, which is subtle but deeply impactful, making the game a unique and unforgettable work in the gaming universe. In the 16th position, we have Gris, a game that turns art into movement and touches you with its sensitivity. The journey takes place in a crumbling world, where the protagonist seeks to restore the colors and harmony of the environment. Each area explored reflects an emotional state, bringing visual and auditory changes that directly connect to the story's progress. The gameplay is marked by simplicity and elegance. Instead of combat, the player is challenged to solve environmental puzzles and overcome obstacles that seamlessly integrate with the surroundings. What makes this game special is how it uses visual and sound language to convey deep messages. Each color restored, each scene reconstructed, seems to tell something intimate and symbolic. It's a work that touches you uniquely, leaving its emotions resonating far beyond the screen. In the 17th position, we have The Last of Us, a game that marked a generation with its visceral and emotional approach to a devastated world. The story follows two survivors crossing dangerous and decaying landscapes, where each encounter tests the strength of their bonds and their ability to adapt. The narrative is masterfully crafted, alternating moments of tension, sacrifice, and brief glimpses of humanity amidst the chaos. The gameplay is deeply immersive, blending action and stealth in a way that makes each approach meaningful. The player must use resources strategically, setting traps or improvising weapons from items found in the environment, allowing different paths and playstyles, which heightens the sense of danger in every confrontation. The level of detail in the environments is impressive, from abandoned cities overgrown with vegetation to interiors that tell stories of their former inhabitants. Every location visited carries emotional weight, making it impossible to pass through them without feeling the dense atmosphere that permeates the entire journey. This is a game that stands out not only for its plot, but for how it combines narrative, setting, and gameplay in a masterful way. In the 18th position, we have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a game that expands the possibilities of an already iconic world. The Kingdom of Hyrule gains new dimensions, both in the sky and below the earth, bringing a sense of scale and mystery that captivates from the start. Each area of the map presents unique challenges, seamlessly integrating exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. The mechanics of creation and object manipulation are among the game's highlights. The ability to build improvised solutions or create vehicles to cross difficult terrain adds an element of inventiveness that raises the level of interaction. Environmental challenges demand creativity and attention to detail, creating moments where the player must observe and experiment to overcome obstacles. The narrative, although subtle, connects deeply with the environment and the discoveries made along the way. Each ruin, temple, and encounter with enigmatic figures contributes to the feeling of unraveling an ancient world full of secrets. It's an adventure that blends tradition and innovation, showing why this series continues to be a landmark among the best games of all time. In the 19th position, we have Bloodborne, a game that plunges the player into a dark, gothic city filled with mysteries and indescribable horrors. The environment of Yharnam is a living labyrinth, where every winding street and every ruined cathedral seems to hide ancient secrets. The oppressive atmosphere, marked by fog and silence broken by unsettling sounds, transports the player to a nightmarish setting. The gameplay is marked by agile and intense combat, requiring quick reflexes and precise reading of enemy movements. Instead of hiding behind shields, the player is encouraged to attack ferociously, recovering lost vitality by striking at the right moment. The weapons available, with transformations that enhance their use, bring dynamism and creativity to the battles. Each confrontation is a tense dance between risk and reward. The design of enemies and bosses impresses with creativity and brutality. Grotesque creatures emerge as reflections of a world overtaken by madness, and each boss fight tests both the player's skill and determination. It's a journey that explores the limits of fear and courage, drawing a fine line between triumph and despair with every challenge overcome. In the 20th position, we have a game that elevates the open-world concept to an impressive level. The map is vast and filled with details that spark curiosity. From desolate lands to grand constructions, every environment seems designed to be explored with care. The paths are never obvious, and secrets are always waiting for those daring enough to venture beyond the expected. The combat requires focus and adaptation, with adversaries that test both skill and patience. The balance between brute force and precise movements creates a challenging but rewarding rhythm. The freedom to approach challenges in your own way, whether through direct tactics or exploring alternative possibilities, gives the player a sense of control over each situation. The narrative is deeply connected to the settings and how the player interacts with the world. Stories unfold subtly, with details hidden in every corner, waiting to be discovered. The game doesn't offer easy answers, but rewards persistence with surprising revelations and moments that stay with you long after they've passed. Continuing, we have Resident Evil 4 Remake, a recreation that revitalizes the classic without losing what made it memorable. The atmosphere remains filled with tension, with detailed settings that blend the isolation of remote villages with the grandeur of oppressive castles. Every location reinforces the sense of imminent danger, creating an atmosphere of constant apprehension. The combat has been adjusted with improved controls, making the confrontations even more intense and fluid. The ability to use the environment strategically during attacks and evasions increases the dynamics of the fights. The attention to visual details, such as animations and lighting effects, heightens the sense of urgency and elevates the impact of each battle. Another standout feature is the sound design. Every noise, from stealthy footsteps to enemy whispers out of sight, contributes to creating a chilling and immersive environment. The soundtrack expertly highlights moments of heightened tension, while the ambient sounds reinforce the feeling of being surrounded by invisible threats. These details turn terror into something palpable, amplifying the impact of every moment lived in the game. So, tell me, which of these games do you consider true masterpieces? And also, is there any that you think is overrated and shouldn't be on this list? I'd really love to know your opinion. Also, feel free to leave in the comments which game you think should be here. Is there another game you think is perfect and fits in today's video? Leave your suggestion in the comments. And if you can, subscribe to the channel to help me grow and never wonder what to play again. I've left 2 videos in the card, one I've chosen for you, and another the YouTube algorithm picked. Just click on either one to watch.